Welcome, ladies and gents, to your magical moon message. This here is the Peace Dealer, and with the moon in Gemini,
Saw escape room is?
the Saw Escape Room.
It said 2121 industrial.
Okay, that's industrial right there. And I'm not sure if it's this way or that way, but I know that's where the guns are. So if it's not down there, it's going to be down there. But industrial is that street right there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no problem. All right, y'all. Moon in Gemini, Sun in Pisces, which is very important because the Pisces is all about collective vibrations and the fullness of experience. So I'm willing to bet that, given that sequentially things just kind of happen for a reason, whatever this lady said to me has a message for you. Even if you don't take it literally, because they were looking for an escape room, which in the sign of escapism is just very telling. But without me looking too into stuff, this transit is initiating and bringing into play an element of true transcendence. And we don't have to say it's just an element either, as much as it's truly transcending every single aspect of your existence and your life. This is so beautiful because you have to also keep in mind, like, whenever we kind of give transits like these, we're breaking down the complexity of life that has, over millions, if not trillions, of aspects. So when we pin down and specify just one of these infinite aspects, it's misleading because we give the impression that that's all there is, when we're really just pulling off of different droplets of the ocean to contextualize what's happening. So the fact that many of you have been rising out of this narrative of being labeled fake, pseudoscientific, especially for those of you in the spiritual path, you know what I'm saying, dealing with so much doubt, which you're a sovereign being. So every single time you've, expressed the need to prove yourself or to respond, you've been lowering yourself to people who you don't have to, explain or prove yourself to at all. And many of you have learned this lesson. So the thing is, once again, this whole theme of inner doubt within yourself, doubt from others, many of you champion unconventional principles. And so considering this and concerning this, it intimidates others who don't have the courage or adamantly are against these things. And their problem is not your problem. And so this whole narrative, this whole theme of having to really interface between, what you bring to the table and how other people feel, it's been turning around, but this is one of those breakthrough points where significantly a lot of the inhibitions, a lot of the fears, a lot of the resistance towards expressing yourself because of what other people thought is so much less active. It's so much less relevant. It's so much less of a factor. It's not really that important because you have transcended so much more the truth of who you are. Now that you know down to your soul who you are, it matters less others' ability to see into your value, worth, and identity, to know who you are. You're going to take even less serious people who don't talk to you or approach you the right way, because you know that is 100% a reflection of them, not you. And you're not going to give into the art of other people making their problems your problems. So trust me, when I say true transcendence, you're definitively transcending every aspect in just a short day or two of your life. The enlightenment you're receiving is preparing you to take the mastery of this Piscean 29-degree energy into the next sign. Whenever we have 29-degree energy of any planet, we come into the final realization. When Jupiter was 29 degrees Gemini in my second house, that's when I realized I'm the peace dealer. As it enlightened my character. Pisces 29-degree sun is a collective completion and final realization of everything that this cycle since March 20 of last year has transcended and completed in order for us to get a full understanding. Embrace the cyclical nature of how these things take time. And it has taken a while for you to get to this place. And so enjoy this and celebrate yourself, because the cycle you're getting ready to start is unlike any other cycle that we will ever have. It's incorporating Pluto 26 degrees, getting ready to return in America's chart. It's incorporating Jupiter, that's in the third decan of Aquarius, getting ready to drive through the evolution collectively of this knowledge to new levels and to open up new avenues of embracing technology and the technology of your spirit and soul. And most importantly, this is getting ready to bridge the higher knowledge and understanding of everything you spent all these successive cycles learning, so that you can put directly into practice now in light of this Aquarius knowledge that's ascending us collectively with all this cumulative experience we're sharing on these social networks with which we can log all this information. I'm channeling a fuck ton. This is insane. But other than that, the reason why I want to hype this up is this is not just the end of Pisces season. This is the end of Pisces season with Saturn in Aqua. This is the end of Pisces season with Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is officially in the last decan of Pisces. Every year, we're going to have these Neptunian conjunctions, which will reveal more and more the supernatural quality of the interconnectivity of everyone and how psychically we connect through all this. And that sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo until you realize that these subtle psychic realms and energies still exist, whether you believe in them or not. You know what I'm saying? They're not waiting for you to believe in them. They exist and they will always be here. So you can utilize them. And this is where the next cycle, we're definitively leveling up in context to who you level up with. And you're going to receive the final piece of the puzzle today in ways that now take into account the little breadcrumbs you've been dropped since before 2010. The picture is going to be made so much more clear to prepare for next year when Jupiter will finish its cycle. So keep that in mind, because concerning this aspect of true transcendence, once again, what's very important to illustrate is that when we started this Pisces season, right, the moon was in Gemini. And so it's not a coincidence now that as we're in a position to end this Pisces season, the moon is in Gemini. And these perceptual aspects challenge your perception to align your dream and vision with what's actually true. Sometimes we like to believe in something with all our heart, but if it's not true, it's not true, boo-boo. Then that's when you start to have whole collectives of people lie for you and confuse everybody. Okay, and some of you are going to make the realization that you can't really be something you're not, but that's only more incentive to be who you are. And so you're going to come into the truth of this transcendent nature of your perspective that will release the old way of looking at yourself as you step into a higher sovereign element of acting off of your own heart and power. And this is where, once again, you're going to be looking at the same negativity, the same people passive aggressively throwing shade, not as something that's frustrating, but as something that's truly funny, as something that's like hilarious, kind of, how none of that has to do with you and your value. And that's just you more triggering insecurities in other people. I will keep saying this. You triggering inferiority complexes in other people is not imposter syndrome. Just because they feel a certain way because you feeling yourself, that's not your problem. Society teaches you it's your problem, and you have to give a shit about other people who, you know, get in their feelings because you're amazing. Okay? It's not narcissism if you know you're the shit. It's not. It's not. Shout out to Leo. This is what they teach us. Okay? It is what it is. And if it is, nigga, I'm narcissistic as fuck. Excuse my language. But other than that, the Aries season jitter is coming through. No excuses, but still. This is going to be super explosive, what we're stepping into. And everything about shifting from mutable signs to cardinal signs is aligning your perception before you take action. You're going to get that final insight before Aries season. If you need to meditate and stay attentive, please do. You don't want to miss this insight. It's going to be a true insight. The moon is going to be aligning with the North Node so that this insight aligns with the truth to destiny of how to truly see this, or what to truly see about this. Okay? And in a nutshell, this is going to reveal the final piece of the puzzle of how and why to see the activation fully of your powers, which have been awakening for 10 years, which have activated, but now this is like the final release aspect of this before you wear this as a part of your identity through Aries season. Because what's going to happen is all through Aries season, you're going to take individual action that manifests your powers. Aries season is where you unveil your super self relative to the team you're a part of. And this is where during guild wars, everyone who's a part of their team expresses their super self. That's the Aries season. Who's your guild? Who are you? Okay? I am a part of the guild of the $1 Billion Vibe Tribe, and I'm the Archangel Michael, the peace dealer. That's my superhero name. I'm not a hero, but that's my super name. You feel me? I'm not a hero or a villain, only because a hero can be a villain to someone else and a villain can be a hero to someone else. So it's just an illusion. But other than that, this is what you're getting ready to take action to define that character. What actions? The actual actions of your abilities that you've mastered up to this point. And so you're gonna be revealed that final perspective to take action and really bring this in. So y'all stay blessed as always. Once again, you're really going to have a unique relationship with victory, in that the same influences who doubted you, the same people who try to play you like you're crazy or delusional, the same people who really just lorded their insecurities over you, you're going to see those same people who felt as higher than you lower themselves even more. And I don't say that as a revenge thing. It's not because it's a tit for tat thing. The scales will release from your eyes and you will see energetically, physiologically, psychologically, how you don't need to inherit those conflicts, and how the character and lack of integrity that induces those actions is not a reflection on your character and only raises your integrity because of how you handle it. And that's facts. I need to say this one more time, because this has been a narrative. It's been a definitive aspect of what you've been going through. You have now reached the threshold where those same people you've graduated, they're staying in that same place. The same individuals and forces who undermined you have no choice but to look up at you. Because now the same people they look up at are looking up at you. And even if they don't want to, the people who they respect are co-signing you. Stuff like that. Or, you know what I'm saying? You're just going to really detach and see how meaningless it is to even take part. It's at a genuine level not going to affect you. And we need to acknowledge that it did affect you before. Not because you're weak, but because this was just the friction needed to develop our characters. Now you're going to see in a shocking way the element and level of individuals who, had all sorts of mean things to say about you, still probably feel that way, but them having to reluctantly acknowledge how much way more powerful than them you are. Because whereas these people tried to brag to the public and show their accolades, you kept them hidden. You didn't really care to show that. And now it's going to speak for itself, and it's going to surprise so many people. A lot of stuff that you don't think is a big deal, people are going to think is a huge deal because you've been putting in so much work. You don't feel like it's that big a deal. You're going to see it's always been a huge deal. Okay, and be very mindful of those there's so many people who are light and love until you do something or you disagree with them. When you have a disagreement with someone, their true colors show. So, be very mindful of who is, acting like they're cool, but now they ghosted you because you had a disagreement. Like, rejection is spirit's protection. So be very mindful. Don't shed tears for people like that. Let them go. It is what it is. If they're real, they're real. If they're not, they're not. But outside of that, y'all stay blessed as always. You're about to enter the most epic cycle of ever. Guild Wars is about to step in. And as much as people may feel whatever they feel about you, if they were real, they would bring it to your face. If they don't bring it to their faces, they're too cool to do that. They're useless. And you don't have to waste your time with useless MFers, because you're a badass MFer. And until tomorrow, the new cycle that will kick off and really show the world how extraordinary you are,